Hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. It's such a pleasure to be here again. I am so excited. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I am thrilled to be here with you tonight. Is anybody in the room? Let me see your chats. If you are in the room, type something in the comments. Let me hear from you. Hi, hello. It's Chat with Temiloluwa, so I'm not doing it by myself. While I'm doing that, let me have something nice in the background for us. Okay. Okay, if you are with me, type something in the chat. I'm going to be looking through my screens from time to time. I can see someone is with us already. Please make sure to type something in the chat box. I'll be looking at both my screens so that we can cover everything that's here. Hello, Oluwashemiye. Hello, Adeduntan. Thank you so much for coming and showing up so early. Hi, I'm excited to have you here. How are you doing? Hi. So I think we can start because we don't want to take too much of our time. We want to go straight into it. Hello, everybody. My name is Temiloluwa Grace Owolabi, and I am the host of Chat with Temiloluwa. Before I go on, let me confirm if you can hear me loud and clear. So if you can hear me, just type loud and clear in the chat so that I'll believe that I'm not talking to myself. I'm looking at my screen again to see if you have said anything. If you can hear me, type loud and clear. I want to be sure that I am not talking to myself. Loud and clear. Okay? All right. Okay. I've not seen our comments, but I want to assume that you can hear me because I would have seen it in the chat already. So let's move on. My name is Temiloluwa Grace Owolabi, and I am delighted to be here with you tonight. I'm delighted to host the second session. It's something that should have held way earlier. Before now, I shared a bit of that. Welcome, Daniel. It's good to see you. Please confirm if you can hear me loud and clear. I just want someone to confirm so that I will know that I'm not talking to myself. If you can hear me, maybe it's not loud or it's not clear enough, let me know so that I can do exactly what is necessary. Okay, loud and clear. Thank you so much, Daniel. I really appreciate that. So I was saying that the last one held last year, I think June, and I was hoping that we're going to be more consistent with it, but other issues happened and we were not able to keep up with it. But I'm excited that this year and very early in the year, we're able to have another session of the Chat with Temiloluwa series. And today I'm not here alone. I'm here with someone that is really, really good, someone who is very good at what she does, a fellow content creator. I'll be introducing her shortly, but I want to remind us again why this series exists, why we're running Chat with Tim Lolua series. And the reason is because I shared in the very first series that I am doing this because of the desire, the passion to share knowledge, to enlighten people, to cause a radical change in the way that people think, in the way that people lead. And I use the tagline dynamic, unique, outstanding. And if you check the meaning of each of those words, it means that the person that embodies all that three will not be what you can call an ordinary human being. And so, by sharing information, by sharing stories, lessons, and experiences through different things in people's lives, we are able to change the world one person at a time. And the guest I brought here today is also an exceptional person, somebody who is good at our craft. And I think that tonight will be a very wonderful time if you can pay attention and listen to everything that she has for us. I am seeing more people. Olariwaju Oluwaferomi, thank you so much for showing up. Hi, so good to see you. So, very quickly, are we ready to have our guest? If you're ready, type ready in the chat and I will bring her up instantly. Before then, let me show us a brief introduction about her. Toby is not someone that is strange to me. Although, fun fact, we have never met in person because of our location. I mean, maybe let me just leave it to that. Because of our location, Toby is not someone that we have met in person, but we have connected on the internet, and that's one of the beautiful things about social media. Social media is a place where you can get to know people, connect with them without even seeing them in person. And so when I met Toby Achidume online, I saw that this woman is very wise. She knows a lot about productivity. She knows a lot about, achieving your goals. And I watched her videos on YouTube. She knows her onions. I've attended her Facebook Live. I've watched the replay at least 2 times, and I know that she is very brilliant at what she does. I will be reading her bio. Oh, I'm seeing more people here. Thank you. Thank you so much for showing. Thank you. Thank you. So quickly, let me introduce our speaker, Toby Achudume. I'm not sure if we can see this. Can we see the screen? I want to display it alone so that we can see it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So Toby is a researcher of international relations and diplomacy. Toby is a content creator that is passionate about spirituality, personal and self development, and helping people to be the best versions of themselves. She does this using her website, YouTube channel, and podcast. She is a passionate God lover who is ready to walk fully in a purpose. I can attest to these things that are written here because I've had the privilege to connect with Toby, and I know that indeed she is an amazing person. She's a powerhouse. I recommend that you follow her on YouTube. She has a YouTube channel, Toby Achidume, on Instagram, Toby underscore Achidume. She is ready for us tonight as well to give us all the juice on how to set your goals and attain them. So in the chat, I want to see your virtual round of applause. I want to see you people put your hands together for this amazing, brilliant woman that will be coming up to speak on how to set your goals and attain them. The next face you'll be seeing on the screen now will be that of Dr. Toby Achidume. So please make sure that you are ready with your pen, your writing material, whatever it is that you want to use to learn tonight. Make sure that you have it all set. Let's go, let's go. Yes. All right, so Toby, you can have the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Demi, for having me. And thank you for those. In fact, I'm so amazed that it is me you were talking about.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And welcome, everyone. My name is Toby, and I'm a. How do I say? Anyway, there's no need to say it again. It has been read. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for joining me here. So, I am going to be sharing with us for a few minutes, and then hopefully you have questions to ask me, and hopefully I can answer those questions correctly. We're going to be looking at how to set goals and attain the goals. That's the topic that I was given to share on. And amazingly, something that I am passionate about, because I just realized that in this life, if you're going to do big things, so you're going to achieve big things or even small things, you're able to do these things because you set them as goals. So if you just say you're going to do something, and a typical example, and I'm sorry that I'm just going to jump right into it, is just waking up one day and saying that you want to do something. If you don't set a goal around it, you're going to flop very quickly. Not because it wasn't important to you, but because the way we work with having ideas. We could have 1,000. I know there are days that I have too many ideas that I even struggle to process for myself. But then the next day, I can't even remember half of those ideas. It's not because those ideas didn't make sense at the time that I was having them, but they just died off as things that I was just thinking on. I didn't set a goal around it. And so very quickly, it was easy for me to forget about those things, to let it go and everything. So for me, goal setting or setting goals and achieving and attaining the goals, because they are two different things. And I'm going to get into that very soon. The easiest part of the whole process is the setting of the goals, as you would know. Achieving the goals is a completely different ball game. But with goal setting or setting goals and everything, it is for people that are passionate or intentional about living life and enjoying life to its fullest. And I say that because if you don't set a goal around the things that you want to do, you would get carried away with so many things. You will get carried away with what people are doing, what people think you should be doing, what you think you should be doing, and you are not able to just stay grounded or stay committed on something to put in the work and the effort you need to put in to get the results that you want to see. And that's why my starting statement was that if you want to be a person that achieves something big or small, you're going to need to have a goal set around that thing that you want to achieve. So you want to be a best-selling author, it has to be a goal that you set for yourself. Because if it's just something that you say randomly, you are going to very quickly forget that it was something that was said. There are things or ideas that have come to my mind in time past that I remember a few months or a few years after, because it's like you see somebody doing that, like, oh, there was a time I actually wanted to do this. I didn't do it because I didn't set a goal around it. And so I'm not going to tell you what is a goal and give you the acronym of SMART goals or smarter goals and everything, because at this point in 2024, I believe that everybody kind of knows what that is and has an idea of what it is. But for me, one of my favorite definitions, or definitions that I always want to work with when it comes to setting goals, is that I say that goals are the first step towards planning and having a great future. Goals are the first step towards having and planning a great future, because goals are part of your vision, they are part of your big picture, they are part of the things that you want to do. So I know that we all have this idea of, I want to achieve purpose, I want to be a purpose, I want to live a purposeful life and everything. But one of the things that we kind of forget is that purpose is not one thing. And my example of this is that when you're even doing things, for example, going to school in uni, you don't know the whole scheme of what you're going to be doing for the 4, 5, 6 years that you're going to spend in school. Because if you see the entirety of your course, you probably would decide to not do that course again, because it will just seem very overwhelming. For example, with myself, I'm not a big fan of maths. I passed maths because I needed to pass maths to go continue my education and everything. And so I just imagine that if I had seen what the schedule of, and I'm going to use senior secondary school because I had my senior secondary school in Nigeria, SS3 curriculum, if I saw it in GS1, I probably would have decided to not do math at all from GSS1, instead of getting to SS3 and then having to practice and learn to pass WAEC and all of that. So that's the way purpose is as well. You don't see the whole picture of what you need to achieve. You are giving these things in bits and pieces. And so for me, those bits and pieces are the goals that you set towards it, because when you look at yourself, you by yourself, you are a purpose that needs to be fulfilled. It's the different parts of you that you then begin to see that you want to set a goal as. So another example that I would use to buttress my points is that a best-selling author did not start off as a best-selling author. The person probably blogged for like 5 or 6 years and then was able to start publishing articles in other people's websites, was called for to write feature articles in magazines and all of that before the person became a best-selling author. So for that person, having that goal did not mean that they wrote the first book and it became a best-selling book. No, they had their mini goals that they had set. They had said, I'm going to publish 5 articles this year. I'm going to feature in Oprah's magazine this year. They had set these tinier goals towards this big goal of becoming a best-selling author. And so that is what goals is for me, towards working towards my purpose. It is the first step towards that, planning the life that you want to live. So you want to live a soft life, or you want to live a soft life is out the best way I want to explain this. You want to live a life that you're happy with. You want to live a life that you feel fulfilled about. You're able to get to that point because there were goals that you set that led up to that point. If you don't have a goal set, it's going to be a journey of just merry-go-round, and that's not what we're going towards. So again, I'm not going to, that's the only definition of goals I'm going to give, because it is kind of important to where I'm going to in this discussion. And so I'm going to just share with you why it is important to set goals, because I know that a lot of us know what goals are, we also know what goal setting is. Plus, like we hear it so many times, you see it so many times. At a point, it was beginning to look like if you don't have goal, you're not living life. Like, what are you doing on earth if you don't have a goal that you're working towards? Plus, the popularity of having resolutions. I think it's still safe to say we're at the early stages of the year, even though we're getting into the second quarter. Oh, happy Easter, everyone! Happy Easter! And so even just looking at it in that way, a lot of us already know what goals are. We also know what goal setting is. So you know that it's a process of you setting your goals and all of that. But one thing that we have not been able to understand, which I think if a lot of people understand it better, we would have more people actually living intentional lives. So intentional in the sense that you're not living borrowed lives. You're not living lives that somebody subscribed for you and people are more happy. We just live happier lives when you have a goal that you're working towards. And so why is it important for you to set goal? Number one is that when you set goal, it engineers yourself to know that you are working towards something. So you know that when you wake up in the morning, you're not just waking up and just looking at the stars or the sky and saying, wow, what a beautiful day to be alive and all of that. While that is good, you also know that there is something that you're waking up to do. There is something that you need to do this day that makes the day something that you are happy about, something that you are proud of, that you're excited about. Because when we're saying that you want to live a fulfilling life, you want to achieve purpose, you want to do all the things that you want to do, what you're able to do in the whole life is an accumulation of the things that you do in the days that you live, right? So you want to have a beautiful April. It means that you have beautiful days in April. You want to have a productive quarter of the year. It means that you had productive days in the days of the month or the days that makes up the quarter of the year. It's not just you having one great day and having 89 not great days and you say, oh, I had a productive quarter of the year. So our days are important, and so setting goals makes you to be conscious of the importance that you get in the day. You're able to appreciate better the 24 hours that you get. I think I said in one of my videos, I can't remember if it was on Instagram or on YouTube, that said that you have 24 hours. The same 24 hours that you have now is the same 24 hours that a 5-year-old has. It's the same 24 hours that a newborn baby has. And so your responsibility is increasing, but what you have to do with the time is not increasing as a result of your responsibility increasing. And so you just have to get to a point where your days or your hours in the day makes so much sense and is so important to you that you know how to use the 24 hours that you have that a 5-year-old also has to achieve the things that you need to achieve by the day. And the way you can do that is because you have a goal that you're working towards. When you have a goal, another thing that makes it important is that it gives you a reason to do the things that you need to do. It makes you conscious of how precious time is and reduces drastically how much you procrastinate on things that you want to do. Because when you start to be conscious about setting goals, when you're more conscious about the fact that you have things that you want to achieve. So we all had resolutions at the start of the year, right? If you're conscious of those resolutions, they would become goals that you set for yourself. And you have said that because you have a timeline. Your timeline is by the end of the year. So by when we're saying goodbye to 2024 and happy new year to 2025, you want to be able to say, yes, I achieved things that I wanted to achieve by the end of the year, right? And so you having that timeline makes you conscious of how you spend the time that you have. You know that you would not just randomly wake up and stay 3 hours on your phone just scrolling on things that you're not even paying attention to. You also know that it wouldn't be you spending time on conversations that makes no sense to you, or conversations that are on the grand scheme of things are things that you don't have to have with a serious time. And I say serious time because obviously there is a time for you to pay attention to the things that you want to do. I hope I'm not talking too fast. You pay attention to the things that you want to do, and then there are also times that you just lazy around. So you have the time to just be there, to just be relaxed and to not take life as serious as you would on sometimes. So you know when you have goals, you know how to use your time better to fit the different situations that you need to use your time to fit, right? Another thing that setting goals does is that it gives you a purpose of what you need to do. It gives you, so we are all on the journey and the quest of what is my purpose. There was a time that everybody was looking for purpose, like what am I supposed to be doing with my life or anything. When you set a goal on something, even if for you right now it seems like I'm not working in my purpose or anything, as long as you're enjoying what you're doing with that thing, it gives you a sense of working towards purpose. And the way I look at the way man was created with God's intentionality and everything, there is a way that the things that you are interested in kind of adds up to the purpose that God has for you. So as much as you're not going to just see what you need to do right now all in one screen, you're able to do something that contributes to that thing when you get to the point of fulfilling it, and it just begins to unravel. But the skills that you get working on something right now is not wasted, because everything that you learn is for you to be a better person, to be the best version of yourself, basically. And so it gives you a sense of purpose. You're working towards purpose when you have a goal that you have set for yourself. Another thing that setting goals does is that it increases your commitment to your growth. It increases your motivation and your commitment to your growth. When you see that this is I'm working towards this thing, there are things that you need to do that kind of makes it easier for you to achieve your goals. So for example, you say you want to start a new business. That's a goal that you want to achieve. You know that if you're going to start a new business with all of the things that you're already doing now, you need to start to pick up on habits that would help you to achieve those things that you want to achieve. So say you normally go to bed by 1 a.m. because it's fine for you to be up by 8 o'clock and you can still make it to work or make it to school and you're fine. Now knowing that you have to start a business that you have to give time to will tell you that you need to either go to bed earlier so that you can wake up earlier to work on your business before it's time for you to go to school or to go to work. Or the time that you're using to just chill and watch Netflix or YouTube or whatever it is that you're watching, please still watch YouTube, very important. It is you knowing that yes, I can now use this time to also work on my business that I want to focus on. So it increases your motivation and your commitment, because when you see yourself winning in tiny things, and I say tiny things because we kind of look at things in sizes, right? So you have a big goal, you have something that you want to achieve, you have this huge thing that you want to achieve, and then you also excuse me, you also have tiny things that makes up this huge thing that you want to achieve. Working on those tiny things and winning in those tiny things would give you the confidence to pursue the bigger things that you want to achieve. That's the point I'm trying to make. So say you have you want to I'm going to just stick to using the book as my example all through. You have Oh, okay. And please let me know if when I have 5 minutes left to talk, please. You have a goal of finishing a book or anything, but you've also set a goal of completing an article in a month, and you were able to do that. Then the next month you set 2 articles, and you were able to do that. Then the next month you set four, you set five, you set six, and you're able to do that. It boosts your confidence in knowing that you're able to set your goal of completing your book and you actually complete the book, right? So that's the point I'm trying to make when it comes to increasing your confidence in doing the things that you need to do. So these are the reasons why it is important for us to set goals. So it's not just us saying that, or it's not just me saying set goals because I want you to just sit down and have a thinking session on what you want to do with yourself and everything. You don't even have to have a goal plan for the whole year. If you can work with having a goal for the month, that's fine. Working with a goal for the quarter, that's fine. I like to set my goals with quarters of the year because it's like 90 days, or it's just enough time for me to do focus on a goal and not give myself time to lazy around and to just waste. So I like to do that, and this is just a perfect time for you to even have a goal setting session with yourself, because the second quarter of the year starts tomorrow, right? Okay, so these are the reasons why it is important for us to set goals. So again, to just buttress, why are we setting goals? You're setting goals because it helps you to work towards the important things that you're working towards. It stops you from procrastinating and just limits your distraction. It gives you a sense of purpose. It increases your motivation and commitment to your growth, and it boosts your confidence and your belief in achieving the bigger things that you would like to achieve. So now, how should you set goals? I always say that for you to set your goals, you are starting from your big picture. So now when I say big picture, it doesn't mean that you have to say I want to be the president of the country, or I want to be the prime minister of the country or something. Your big picture could just be you saying I want to be a happier person, I want to be a financially free person, I want to be a helpful person, I want to be, it's just things that for you makes so much sense that it may not make sense to the other person. I always say I want to be I want to be productive in anything I do. I want to be able to put my mind to doing things and do it properly without wasting time. So when I say I want to be a productive person, it means that every day when I complete my day, I can say these are the things that I wanted to do today and I was able to do it. And the things that I was not able to do, there has to be a cogent reason why it was not done on the day. So your big picture doesn't have to be an enormous thing. It could just be something that makes sense to you. It could be as little as I want to be a graduate, or I want to be a businesswoman or a businessman, anything. And so when you start from there, you want to ask the questions: what does success mean to me? What's my definition of success? What does that mean to me? So again, using myself as an example, when I say I want to be a productive person, a successful day for me would mean that when I wake up, I do not just lazy around pressing my phone or just finger tapping or snoozing, hitting the snooze button on my alarm clock. Realize just now how terrible that has been for a long time. But anyways, I just make up my mind that if I'm going to have a productive day, then there are just things that I need to do to make sure that I have a productive day. So you're asking yourself, what's your definition of success? So when I say I want to be a productive person, what does that mean for me? What does that look like? What does that what is the meaning of success to me? And when it comes to the things that I am actually going to be working on, you also want to ask, what do I want to do with this definition of success in a particular time frame? So I'm tempted to say 1 year, 5 years, 20 years, but it is honestly just up to you. What do you want to who do you want to be in the next few years, few months, few days? What's the how do you want to see yourself? Do you want to be somebody that now understands the meaning of what you're doing? Do you want to be somebody that is still lazing around? Do you want to be able to do certain things that you were not able to do before? You have to be the one to divide or define what all of these things are for you. So it doesn't have to be an overwhelming sight or an overwhelming picture. It could just be something that it just has to make sense to you, basically. It really just has to make sense to you. So, another thing that you need to do when it comes to your goal number two is that you want to now break this big picture into smaller goals. So, I want to be a productive person. Where do I want to be a productive person? I want to be a productive person in my career, in my business, in my day-to-day activities, in my just you just need to now break this down into, I normally say to break it into at least four things that you want to do, because four is just a perfect number. You're not overwhelmed and you're not underwhelmed as well. So you want to be able to say, yes, these are the four things I'm going to then focus on, and I can look at this and achieve it. So what does productivity mean when it comes to my relationships? What does productivity mean when it comes to my spiritual growth? What does it mean when it comes to my finances? What does it mean when it comes to my business? What does it mean when it comes to my education? You just need to be able to say, yes, these are the things that I need to now look at when it comes to this big picture that I want to achieve. Another thing that you now want to do is to, again, you're breaking it down further. The whole idea of this is that you want to break it down to a point where giving an excuse to not do what you need to do is almost useless. There is no excuse that you can give to yourself that will make sense, except it is so cogent that even you say, yes, it's true, I can't do this today because of this reason. That's the point that we're going to. So you want to break your goals down again to the point where you are now able to say, I need to do this every day. So using my example of being a productive person, that means that I need to be up by a particular time every day. I need to set my daily routine on my to-do list. I need to know exactly what I need to do every day. I need to be able to schedule the things that I need to do. I need to pick out my outfit the night before. I need to make sure that my clothes is ironed, my bag is ready. It's just these tiny, tiny habits that we think are tiny, but when you look at the accumulation of these habits together, you kind of see the difference in weird ways. Like you just see that, oh, I'm not tired by 5 p.m. today because I slept early yesterday. They're just things that you do that makes your life better, but you don't notice them because you just see them as redundant. You see them as things that shouldn't matter. You just see them being bland. So growing up, anytime I heard pick your Sunday outfit on Saturday, I just thought it was a waste of time because why would I pick it when I can wake up on Sunday morning and pick it? But then as an adult, you see that picking your outfit the night before reduces how much time you spend thinking of what you're going to wear the next day, right? So you're not waking up on Sunday morning, and I say Sunday morning because maybe today is Sunday and I learned that from getting ready for church on Sunday. You just know not to spend 30 minutes in front of your wardrobe looking and guessing what am I going to wear, trying and dropping outfits and everything because it's just done on Saturday. And it being done on Saturday doesn't mean you don't have other things to do, but there are just things that are better to do the night before because it is much better for you to use tiredness energy to pick out an outfit than for you to use energy that you should be using to think on creative ideas to be thinking of what you want to wear. That's how I see it. And that's why they're just these habits are just tiny habits that you can very easily ignore or not pick on, and it makes it difficult for you to be the person that you want to be. So breaking it down also helps you to see these things that you need to see to begin to do the things that you need to do. I hope that makes sense. Another thing that you then need to do is to, I want to say, have a daily routine because I honestly believe in the power of a daily routine. It reduces how much time you spend thinking on mundane things and repetitive things. So there are days like for someone that is not, and again, I'm just going to use myself as an example. I am not very intentional about eating right. And eating right doesn't mean that I eat junks, but eating right in the sense that I can very quickly miss out on eating in a whole day. But I noticed that it's not good for me because then I don't have energy to complete my task by the day. So what do? I then make sure that I meal plan. It is very important for me to do that. It is also very important for me to know that there is, when I meal plan, it makes it difficult for me to not eat because the excuse of there is no food is not there because there is food. It is also making sure that I do my grocery shopping by a particular day so that when I need to get breakfast on a random Wednesday, there is actually breakfast that is there for me to eat. So it makes it difficult for me to stick to my bad habit of not eating and to build a healthy habit because there's a daily routine that I need to follow. So you just make sure that it's just to make life easy for you, basically. There are already so many things that we need to spend our time on in the day, that they are just things that would make sense for you to just batch as a routine and you don't have to think about it. So, like I said, picking an outfit the night before is so accustomed to me that I don't have to think about it before I do it. So, having a daily routine reduces what you're thinking on. It gives you brain space to do the things that you need to do. It gives you brain space to focus on things that are important, like that business that you're trying to start. When you have routines and you just batch things together, I was telling Temi earlier that I've gotten to a point where I batch so many things that makes life easy for me. And so if something is not done, it's not because there was no time to do it, it's because I just didn't want to do it, which is a minus for me at a particular point, right? And so it's just us looking at these things in these different ways. Okay, so these are ways that I would say you should set your goals. You just need to keep breaking down until it gets to a point where it cannot be broken down anymore. That's where you're going. That's what you are working towards, getting to that point. And the last thing that I'm going to say you need to do when it comes to setting your goal is that you need to be accountable. It is very important for you to be accountable, not because you are not a trustworthy person, but because you're a trustworthy person. And I'll explain. When it comes to you saying these are the things that you want to do for yourself in a particular time frame and in a particular season, it is very easy for you to say, I'm the one that knows this goal. And so if I do it, it's fine. If I don't do it, it's also fine. But when you get to a point where you have to hold yourself accountable, then it becomes difficult because you know that you're losing trust with yourself. A lot of people do not trust themselves today, not because they've never been trustworthy people, but because they've made promises to themselves that they did not keep. So if you set a goal to do something and you keep that promise by doing the things you need to do every day, you're building your trust in yourself. And building trust in yourself helps you to build confidence in yourself as well. So be an accountable person. Make sure that you're accountable to yourself. So I there is a way to, obviously, you know that when you set your goals, there are questions that you need to ask. It's something that you can do in 10 minutes. I promise you can do it in 10 minutes. Look at the goals and just write out 4 5 questions that you can ask yourself about your goals by the time frame that you need to. That's how you keep yourself accountable. What did you do this? Why didn't you do it? How did you do it? How were you successful with doing this? And just give the questions on a repetitive level, in the sense that you can always ask yourself this question. So, weekly check ins: what were we able to do today, this week? And why didn't we do the things that we said we are going to do, but we didn't do? Ask yourself these questions. It helps you to keep yourself accountable. You can also keep an accountability partner. So you can have a friend that you share your goals with, a friend that you trust, and a friend that you know has your back. Very important. And then you can share, and it doesn't even have to be a friend. It could be a mentor, it could be someone that you respect, it could be a family member, someone that you know has your best interest at heart, is what we're looking at. And let the person, just tell the person every month, when you call to gist, ask me these questions about my goals. Keep me accountable for the goals that I have set for myself. And it would help you greatly. You'll be amazed at the difference that this is going to do when it comes to the goals that you set and achieving the goals. So, how can you then attain these goals? Do I still have time? How can you then attain these goals that we are looking at? I'm going to just quickly mention motivation and discipline. So, motivation, I'm very sure you know that there is a difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is what you get when you're inspired by what you see. So, when I decided to be intentional about keeping a daily routine, I had seen so many content on daily routine, how it has helped somebody, how people even have their fancy daily routine and their aesthetically pleasing daily routines and everything. It is one thing for you to see something on social media and to say you want to do it, but doing the work to get there is a completely different thing. And so sometimes you even have to just make it work for you. You have to just make it work for you. And so what you see, what you get when you see those things and you feel like, oh yes, I want to have a routine because I see 5 people that I follow saying they have a daily routine and everything, that motivates you to do it. Motivation would run for a short time. The highest motivation is going to do for you is give you 3 weeks of intense reminding you to do something. But when you get to the point where you then start to see how much work goes into the things that you want to do, motivation is leaving you on the streets. It leaves you dry. It leaves you dry. So what you then need to have is discipline to keep doing what you need to do. So I wrote here that motivation is going to give you, it gives you a light bulb moment. So you're like, oh yes, I should be doing this. This is what I should be doing and everything. But it's only short-lived. There was a picture, I don't know if it was a picture or a video that I saw on Instagram some days ago, weirdly. And it was two fire pictures showing motivation and discipline, what they both look like. And motivation was this flaming fire going very bright and very intense, and then it just goes off randomly after a few seconds. And then discipline is just blowing or flaming very slowly, but it's consistent. That's what you want to get. That's what you want to work towards when it comes to your goal. You want to be consistent with it, not just have this burst of energy that goes off very quickly. The quicker the motivation comes, the quicker it goes off as well. So while motivation would help you to kickstart, it would engineer your starting the process. What you need to stay on is that you need to discipline yourself to stay on it, and that's how you can achieve it. You need to be consistent with the things that you need to do. So say one of the things that you want to do now is to have a daily routine, or you want to then give 2 hours of your day to the business that you want to set. Write every day for an hour or something. You know that the motivation to do it, for the first few days, you are able to do it. Discipline is you doing it when you don't feel like it. So you wake up very tired, exhausted, you feel like you have writer's block. What you're going to do is make sure that you write something, random story. What did I see yesterday? Write about it. It just keeps you consistent. And when you're consistent, it becomes some part of you that it is difficult for you to not give time to what is important to you. And again, we did see at the start that this is working towards living the life that you want to live. And so you know that when you're consistent and you start to build habits that helps your goal, it is in the long run helping you to be a better person, right? And so with this, you're able to stay on it. You're able to stay on it. So another point that I want to mention is that you need to do the work. Like we just said, with motivation and discipline, you are going to feel the fire to do it, but then after a while, it's going to go off. What you still need to do is do the work. There are days like I create content on YouTube. There are days that I would not feel like shooting any content, but because I have a timeline that I need to follow, I have to tell myself that if you don't shoot this content, you're not going to get the goal that you want to get. And so it is you doing the work even when you don't want to, when you don't feel like doing it. And I'm saying this because feelings and emotions would just they are very light feathered. Is that a word? They just very quickly, if you don't feel like doing something, the moment you start doing it, the feeling will meet you in the doing. And you would see, especially if it is something that you actually enjoy doing. And I'm assuming that if you have set it as a goal, then you enjoy doing it. When you start to do it in that way, your energy picks up, your emotions and feelings gets into it with you. So when I don't feel like creating my content, when I don't feel like recording any video, and I actually start getting dressed to record the video, now I know that I can't waste the makeup, I can't waste the outfit, I need to actually record the video. And when I do that, I see that I am able to record it, and you can't tell the difference between the days that I wanted to record and the days that I didn't feel like recording, because we are still going to put in the work to do what we need to do. So you need to do the work. Number two is that you need to service your goals by doing number two, number three, I think, or number four, a number. What you need to do is to service your goal by keeping to time with the little things that you say you're going to do around it. So say you tell yourself that you're going to set a daily, no, a to-do list for a particular day. Tomorrow or Tuesday, there's no work tomorrow. Tuesday, you're going to set a to-do list for it. And you actually do set your to-do list. That's a win that you need to acknowledge, because you're coming from not setting your to-do list. And then another thing that you need to look at is how important these tiny things that you're doing would help you to again boost your confidence for the next thing that you want to do. So I hope that I have answered the question of how to set goals and how to attain the goals. Over to you, Demi.
Wow, that was amazing. Guys, if you are feeling so empowered, you're feeling so enlightened, just like I am right now, please let us give Toby a virtual round of applause in the comments. Thank you so much, Dr. Toby Achidime. That was, like someone said, solid stuff. Really, really good. I like the fact that, my fear was, when I listen to stuff around goal setting, people just talk about, you need to set goals. It's important to set goals. If you don't set goals, this and that will happen. But they don't tell them how, right? They don't tell them this is what you should do. This is how to do it. They don't even tell them that these are the challenges you will face in the process of setting these things. And you have allayed all my fears, because you talked about discipline, you talked about consistency, you talked about the fact that you will not feel like doing it on certain days, but you still have to get up and show up. And honestly, I don't think I have anything else to say other than that was amazing. Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
guys. Let's appreciate Toby in the comments. Thank you, thank you so much. Really, really good. So,
Thank
if there
you.
is any question, I want you to leave it in the comments so that she can address them very quickly. If you have any question from the session, there's something that you would like to get clarified, or you want her to speak more, or if you think that she has done a perfect job, you don't have any questions, you understand everything, please let us know in the chat as well, so that we can move on to other things. Thank you so much, Dr. Toby. This was amazing. I'll just go over some of the things that I wrote because I also took notes. I like the fact that you told us the reason to set goals, that it helps us, it limits distractions, and it gives us a sense of purpose. You know, waking up every day knowing that you have something in front of you that you want to achieve, you live a different kind of life because you understand better. And then when you talked about where you want to see yourself in future. A lot of people are short-sighted. They don't understand that there's a future and today is going to be yesterday very by tomorrow. Today is going to be yesterday by tomorrow. So when people think about the future, they start planning towards it, and that's where goal setting comes in. And then you talk about being accountable. Being accountable is very important and it's quite underrated. Or maybe I should say that people don't want to submit to someone that is going to be giving them that check-in, that correction, a little
Yeah.
nudge here and there. But accountability is so important. I know many things that I have done because I shared it with someone. I told someone I want to do something, and the person keeps asking me, how far, how are you going to do it, when are you going to do it? Even this live session, I have to thank somebody for keeping me accountable. And then when I eventually sent that message to Toby, I felt like that burden was lifted from my chest. And I'm so glad that Toby responded. Thank you so much, Toby. It looks like we do not have questions for now. That means she did an amazing job attending to every single thing that's on your mind. So once again, thank you so much, Toby. Guys, I want you to follow
You.
Toby on YouTube. Toby is an amazing content creator. It's not only goals that she talks about food as well. She will show you how to cook. You will see every time I'm watching a video, I'm like, oh my god, can I just have some of these? Just send it to my address, if not for the distance. I mean, how far is it? Paris is not so far. I can just
You
maybe
can
one
just
day you
dash down
see
and
me.
get some. Yeah.
One day I'll just knock at your door, and I'm already brushing up on my French speaking skills. I've been taking classes, and Duolingo says I'm doing great. So
Good for
very
you. So
soon.
you're welcome.
Thank you so much. This was amazing. I cannot wait for us to have another wonderful session again sometime in future.
Thank
So
you.
before I let you go, do you have anything that you like to say? Maybe you want to give us parting words, or you want to sell yourself. Maybe you have a course, you have a planner, you have something that you'd like us to engage. Please go ahead.
Okay. Last words. I think I said all the words that I can say this night, but I have so many free contents that I think would help a lot of us, especially if you're just being conscious or intentional about setting goals and everything. I have a planner, a free planner, a goal setting workbook as well that kind of breaks all these things that I have shared. It's all on my Instagram account. Instagram, what is it called? Page account. Toby underscore Achudume. Basically, it's just my name there with an underscore in between. And then you'll be able to see all of the contents that I have. Most of them are free. And the ones that are not free, I promise you that the value that you're getting is more than what you're paying for. So I have a workbook, I have a planner, and I have an ebook that would help you to work towards being a productive person this year.
I'm going to leave the link in the description, guys, so that you can catch up. I'll leave the live chat replay so that everybody can come back to it. You want to listen to it again. I'm sure it's something that you would want to listen to and keep learning from. Thank you so much, Toby, all the way from France. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the wise nuggets. Thank you for every single thing that you have shared with us today. God bless you. And I
Thank
look forward to having you here another time.
thank you. Have a
Have a
wonderful
wonderful night rest.
holiday.
All right, guys, that was amazing, right? If you agree with me, put it in the chat. I'll be looking through your comments now to see what you guys think about it. That was amazing. I knew that Toby was going to do justice to the topic. I knew that she was going to say almost everything, if not everything, that I had in mind concerning the topic of goal setting, and she did not disappoint. So please let me know how you feel in the chat. Let me know if you feel like you have not wasted your time, if you feel like this is exactly why I came. I should touched it a little here and there. Let me know exactly how you feel in the comments. I'd like to see it. I'd like to read it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. This is where I appreciate you too. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate those who registered and those who showed up tonight. I see all of you in the chat and I'm like, wow, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you. Please engage with all my content on social media. I'm trying my best to put out more as God is helping me. Let us work together to make it a reality. Follow me on all social media platforms at Temiloluwa Grace Owolabi. Also, I am trusting God that Chat with Temiloluwa is going to be a series that we'll be consistent with. We're going to have more speakers. We're going to do more of interactive sessions. In fact, maybe one day I'll just pick somebody randomly in the chat and then you come on the screen, put on your camera, and then we just gist. That's one of the things that we want to do to ensure that we are building one another. So please pray for me, encourage me, support me. I'm going to leave all the links to all those things in the description so that after this session, you can come back and click on it. Also, if you want to book a consultation session, that one I have given it to you from the very first time that we started the Chat with Temiloluwa series. It is my one-on-one offer for you to sit down and discuss. I want to trash out your issues one by one. As you are bringing it to me, I am helping you with it. I would have displayed feedback from some of our participants, but we don't have time. Also, I did that in the last session, so you can still watch it. It's up for replay. Book a session. Let's address your issues, whatever your goals are. Like we have learned tonight, you need someone to be accountable for you, you need someone to guide you. I am here for you. Please, let's work together and make your dreams come true so that we can change the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We'll see in another video. Continue to lead a dynamic, unique, and outstanding life. And as usual, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you leave a comment, and then make sure you subscribe. Good night, everybody. God bless you. And again, happy Easter. Bye bye.